Welcome. Uh, we just learned the famous speech of Gratiano where he talks about Pythagoras. Pythagoras, let me remind you, is a Greek philosopher who believed that the spirits of animals, after the animal died, would enter into the body of human beings, and the human beings would then be governed by the qualities of that animal. Now, for further illustration, Graciano says that a wolf that was hanged for human slaughter, remember those days it was a common practice. Yes, once again, let me remind you, animal rights were not as common as they are today. So, if a wolf would have slaughtered a human being, the logical thing those days would be to punish that wolf, to hang it till death. Now, the spirit of such a wolf must have entered the body of Shylock's mother when she was expecting Shylock. Look at the way Graciano insults the mother of Shylock, calls her unhallowed dam. The word dam is mother, unhallowed is unholy. You might ask me, why is Shylock's mother considered unholy? She is considered unholy because of their religious differences. Such was the mentality of people those days. Fine. Shylock, of course, is not discouraged. He says, "Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offendest thy lungs to speak so loud." Shylock doesn't start quarreling with Graciano, and he doesn't say, "How dare you call my mother this and that?" No, he says, "You shout as much as you like, Graciano, but still my bond remains legal. You cannot tear off the sign, the seal of my bond." Which bond? The bond by which he is entitled to take a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Fine. After that, Shylock says, "Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin." Good youth is Graciano. Go and repair your brain, otherwise your brain will be permanently damaged. I stand here for law. Shylock, obdurate, stubborn, strong, stands for his rights. He says, "I appeal to the law to give me justice." Now, then the Duke says, "This letter from Valerio doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court." Who is he? Where is he? So Dr. Valerio is not coming himself, but he has recommended a young and learned lawyer who will come to our court to solve this case. Where is that young and learned doctor? And then Nerissa says, "He attendeth here hard by." Hard by means nearby. He is here nearby to know your answer, whether you'll admit him. He is waiting. He wants to know whether you will let him come in or not. And at that, of course, the Duke says, "With all my heart, why not? Some 3 or 4 of you go, give him courteous conduct to this place. 3 and 4 of you go and welcome that young doctor to the court. Meantime, the court shall hear Valerio's letter, and in the meantime, we will read out Dr. Valerio's letter, and then the clerk reads out the letter." This clerk is not Nerissa. This clerk is the clerk who is already present in the court, and the clerk reads, "Your Grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter, when I got your letter, I am very sick." Look at the formal language. "Your Grace will understand that when I received your letter, I was very sick. Now, but in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome." Doctor means lawyer. His name is Balthazar. So Portia has taken up the name of Balthazar. And Valerio has written, "When I received your letter, I was very sick. I couldn't come. But at that time, a young Roman lawyer had come to visit me, and his name is Balthazar." Fine. I acquainted him with the cause in controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We turned over many books together. He's furnished with my opinion. All right. So I told him about the case of controversy between Shylock and Antonio. And together we studied many books. Remember, lawyers have to do a lot of studies. And he is furnished with my opinion. He knows what I want to say, which, bettered with his own learning, the greatness whereof I cannot enough commend. Okay, so he knows my opinion, and on top of that, he himself is a very wise person. So his opinion is also included in his judgment. Now, I cannot enough comment. I don't have words enough to praise this young lawyer. Comes with him at my importunity to fill up your grace's request in my stead. And I have requested him to go in my place and be a substitute for me in the court of law. I beseech you, let his lack of years, I beseech you means I request you, I implore you, let his lack of years, let his youth, all right, be no impediment to let him lack a reverent estimation. Just because he is young, please don't think that he is unwise. Yes, for I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I never knew a person who is so wise in his youth. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation. And I leave him to your grace. You will try him and you will understand how good he is. Now, at that, Duke says, you hear the learned Valerio, what he writes, and here I take it is the doctor come. You have heard the letter of the learned Valerio, and here comes the learned doctor, and that is Balthazar, and Balthazar's part is played by none other than Portia. Fine. Now, enter Portia, dressed like a doctor of law, dressed like a lawyer. And then Portia says, sorry, and the Duke says, give me your hand, let's shake hands. Yes? Coming from old Valerio? Are you coming from old Valerio? And of course, Portia says, I did, my lord. Yes. And then the Duke says, you are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court? You must be knowing about the case that's going on. And Portia says, I am informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here and which the Jew? Let me see them. Yes? And the Duke says, Antonio and old Shylock would stand forth, come forth, and then come in front. And then Portia speaks to Shylock. Portia says, is your name old Shylock? Sorry, is your name Shylock? And then Shylock says, Shylock is my name. Portia says, of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. Now you see, what Portia does is Portia in the first instance supports Shylock. Portia says, your case is very strange. What you're asking for, a pound of flesh, is very strange, but still it is lawful. The law of Venice, the court of Venice, cannot deny that. Yes? Now, then she turns to Antonio and she says, you stand within his danger, do you not? So, Antonio, your life is in danger. And at that, Antonio says, aye, so he says. And Portia says, do you confess the bond? And then Antonio says, I do. I hope you've signed the bond willingly. Nobody's forced you to sign. Antonio says, I've signed it willingly. And then Portia says, then the Jew must be merciful. Then the Jew has to have mercy. But Shylock says, on what compulsion must I? Tell me that. So Shylock is obdurate, doesn't want to show mercy, and what happens next is a very famous speech of Portia, beginning with the quality of mercy, but we shall pause here today. Thank you.